along the baking blacktop of old Route 66. Fleeing the hellscape of New Jersey, a stolen Pope-mobile sputters. Past the saguaro, where tumbleweeds bounce and vultures circle. Lost in the desert due to an unexpected flat tire, low on fuel, out of supplies. The members of a secret society struggle to survive in the classic tale of man versus nature. All so they can scrutinize those films which are rumored to drive viewers to madness and dissolution. Draw closer, dear listener, let your trembling ears sup upon the eldritch knowledge of the Cinemania Society. We the fellows of the Lenses Hall do convene to judge if this fine cinema worthy of our esteem, or whether it should cast down worthless hokum. Let us don our feathers in judgment.
We the fellows... Oh.
The story so far. Escaping from the blighted hellscape of New Jersey in a stolen Pope-mobile, the cultists of the Cinemania Society get a flat tire in the desert. While trying to improve their situation, they look at surreal French-American art house horror dramedy Rubber from 2010. An abandoned car tire develops self-awareness and terrifying psychic abilities before going on a rampage of violence. All the while, an audience is watching events as if it is just a movie and not happening in front of them, while the unseen creator of the movie is trying to bump them off, and the actors apparently want to stop performing and go home. It's at least 3 meta layers nacho dip. So the Cinemania Society decided to take a break in a roadside motel, just like in the movie. 4 layers now. But the next morning it seems like they were being pursued by a gang of idiots who froze solid overnight in the cold. Looks like they didn't understand their whole door situation.
Right. Alright, the spare tire looks good. I think we can get moving.
Hey, check this out. I got some cool biker jackets.
You mean you stole them from the poor frozen bastards over there?
Yes, I did.
Excellent.
Is it technically theft if they're dead?
In D&D, we call it looting.
We better get moving. Judging by those frozen dipshits, it looks like Cinema Assassins are still on our trail. The more distance we can cover, the better.
I wonder what legion they've sent this time.
Any idea where we're headed?
That's the best part. Since we have no idea, no one can reveal our plans to the enemy.
Who would do such a thing? I'm sure it's just been bad luck.
Well, it ends here. This cult has been leaking information. We need to tighten our security.
You know what they say. Loose lips.
Get tips.
Huh? What? No! Sink ships. Loose lips sink ships.
What ships? We're not on a boat.
It's a metaphor.
What's a metaphor?
Well, maybe we should stop releasing regular podcasts about what we're getting up to.
Never!
Hey, are you saying you don't trust any of us?
I'm not saying I don't trust you all implicitly. I'm saying I do mistrust you all explicitly.
Yeah. Hash it out when we're on the move. These frozen nudists are just creeping me out.
Wait, why are they all naked?
I also found all these pants.
Get in the damn car.
Ban.
Crossover.
Just continue the conclave. We just need to get started, okay? I'll take this next bit. The sheriff who is supposed to be investigating all the madness announces that it's time to go home. Nice working with everyone, but it's all over. The other cops seem a bit nonplussed at their boss trying to explain to them that everything around them is pure fiction, and since the audience is all dead, they can drop the act that this is real life. They rather reasonably point out that this is, in fact, real life. They do, in fact, need to investigate the murders that have, in fact, been going on. In order to prove that nothing is real, the sheriff actually orders one of his underlings to take out their pistol and shoot him. Which they do.
The second time.
Yeah, repeatedly.
I gotta say, I would take a lot more haranguing before I would agree to that order.
No, you gotta remember, this is the same actor who played Lindenmeyer in Virtuosity, so you kinda wanna shoot him.
Yeah.
Despite a very obvious bullet wound in the chest, the sheriff is entirely unhurt. He insists again that it's all fake, but when they shake the body of the maid, surprise, surprise, she does not get up and walk off like he expects. Something isn't right. The nerd from before sidles up and explains that one of the spectators is still alive. This is in fact not over, and they have to go on.
The show must go on.
No singing!
No singing.
Yeah, unless it's me. No singing.
And the sheriff seems very, very annoyed by that
Yeah.
news. It's like, oh, God damn it. I thought we were going to wrap early. I was going to go home. I had plans. I have errands to run.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much.
So he actually has to make a show of doing his job. He half-heartedly interviews the motel owner, still bleeding from the gunshot wounds, by the way, but while they're talking, the tire pulls itself upright and psychically explodes the motel owner's head. This is like Scanners, but somehow dumber.
Yeah.
Which the sheriff has almost no response. He's just like, okay, I guess we're still doing this bit. It's like,
I guess this means the
he's just
interview is
so
over.
nonplussed by it. It's just like,
Yeah, no, to me, this felt very much like the tire was like, this interview is over, and then like storms out.
Yeah, it's the exact opposite of that scene in Alien.
the sheriff's like, another day, another head explosion, whatever.
The son has no reaction to his father's decapitation.
Either way, the sheriff almost forgets what to do next, but fortunately, he has a copy of the script to rubber, which he pulls out and reads the next part about how, oh my god, the killer is a tire, and so forth. So now it's time
You said it
to
with about
bring
10
in.
times more enthusiasm than he actually did in the movie.
Yeah,
he was
well,
like-
you know. But now it's time to bring in the vulcanized villain. So we cut to the tire somewhere rolling around, having a good long think. You can tell that this is what's happening because it stops and seems to regard its own reflection in a bit of broken mirror while flashbacks to the previous events happen. Maybe it's having regrets, who knows, it's a fucking tire. That's how you know someone is having one of those inner monologue moments, though, because except in this case it's a dusty car tire, so you kind of have to fill in the blanks and imagine a deep and meaningful moment of reflection happening here. And this is
It
where
is a
all the
moment of
regrets lie.
reflection, though.
Oh, God!
So, okay, so for what it's worth, I actually thought that was pretty well done. Like, this is one of the examples where they take all these like really cliche, tropey like shots that you always use, like, someone sitting at the bottom of a pool and thinking about their life or looking into a mirror or whatever. It's like that's the sign that this tire is doing something because you don't have any body language to go off of except for when the tire is like murder masturbating. So
Murder bidding?
Would you say that the cliche is a little tired?
Oh.
zing.
Hey-o. All the while, the young man has been watching, and he approaches and tries to reason with the tire, explaining that it will be in trouble with the police because of what happened, trying to get it to talk or something, but it doesn't talk. It is, and this bears repeating yet again, just an old car tire.
I didn't really understand why the kid wasn't afraid of the tire or anything. He saw the remnants of the maid. He saw the exploded. Well, I guess he didn't know the crow was from the thing. Anyway, he saw the remnants of the maid and everything, and he knows the tire did all this creepy stuff. Yet he's gonna just sit there
actually, I
and
know
talk
why.
to it. If I
I know
knew
why.
someone was a murderer, I wouldn't just sit there and talk to them. I would be worried that they were gonna murder me.
I know why. I can tell you why. Because fuck you, that's why.
Some exposition, right? I just
He believes in the inherent goodness of the soul of every tire, right? Like maybe the rubber on the edges is black.
Thinks the tire is evil. The kid hates the tire. The kid knows the tire is terrible.
No, but there's some good in it still. Maybe if you could just get it back on the rims, right?
Okay.
Has it fallen off the wagon?
Yeah, it's fallen off the axle.
I'm giving you nothing for that. Nothing.
So, the sheriff is briefing the others on what to look out for. And just so they're clear, he pulls a tire from a car and tells them, "This is what our killer looks like. A tire."
I love this.
The other law persons are dubious, as you can imagine, but orders are orders, I guess. One of them asks what brand of tire they're looking for. Unknown. Another asks, "Is it black?"
Jesus
Fucking
Christ.
A-cab, I guess. The boy comes running and tells them
Definitely
which direction the tire rolled off in. Time to burn rubber.
Ethan? Even you?
I think we've beaten us Inquisitor into submission.
About time.
Somewhere in the distance, the bodies of the murdered audience are scattered about, but the one remaining spectator, still unpoisoned, is sitting there watching closely. Yes, it's that grizzled wheelchair-bound guy from before, and he's still insisting on seeing this thing through to the end. He is determined that they won't get away from this, and by this, we don't mean homicide, we mean not finishing the story. That is the hill he is choosing to die on. The nerd approaches with a whole buffet trolley this time and tries to tempt him with some lovely food. And it is lovely, but our veteran is not falling for it. Even lovely eclairs won't work on him. Because, Americans are so big on eating eclairs. But the nerd is getting desperate by this point, and he tries telling him that there isn't even an end to this thing. There's no point watching. But according to the Spectator, a pretty exciting scene of cops chasing the tire is playing out.
See, I actually read that more as the trope of like the person in the horror movie who doesn't do the smart thing and just leave completely.
Right.
Well, we cut to the tire rolling down the road, and it gets pulled over by a cop car. So it pauses and explodes the driver. Sweet.
Yeah, at one point you can even see like a little fountain of blood squirting up out of the guy's arteries on the severed neck.
Really well
I
done.
ask myself, what is the cops' plan for this? If they catch the terror, what are they going to do to it?
We're gonna shoot it. A lot.
Okay.
Fill it full of lead.
Yeah, that's kind of the default
Which
thing
they
that
could have
cops
done
do.
without pulling it over. They could shoot it while it's rolling. It wasn't going that fast.
Didn't you see the outtakes where they tased it for 10 minutes? Telling it not to resist? Stop resisting! Stop resisting!
Cooperator, you will be tased again!
Can you tase something if it's made of rubber?
That's a very good question.
Well, the nerd is despondent, and while this is all going on, he just starts narrating a rambling, pointless story about his own life, while enjoying some tuna tartare. And casually eats a lovely eclair. Uh-oh. That's a poisoning right there. The nerd dies, hoisted by his own buffet, you might say.
I thought it was
Even
pronounced
if it
buffet.
wasn't poisoned, he was eating raw fish and dairy that had been sitting out in the desert heat for like at least an hour or so while he was talking to the other guy. I mean, that was going to kill him anyway.
Yeah, that's a poisoning right there.
The last spectator is unmoved. He was serious about watching this thing all the way through to the end.
Well, that was quite the kerfuffle.
I thought a kerfuffle was a unit of measurement, like for sugar or something.
No, it's a commotion caused by conflicting views.
Well, it can be a unit of measurement. 5 kerfuffles equals 1 shit show. 2 shit shows is 1 clusterfuck.
A kerfuffle is more than a buggery, but less than a ballyhoo.
Are those metric?
Then, what's a turd circus?
Well, that definitely sounds metric.
Wait. Ethan, did you make that up?
All units of measurement are made up.
Actually, you're not wrong. You're just wrong about how you're right.
Ooh, that's deep.
How deep?
Are we measuring in feet or meters?
Fathoms. Depth is measured in fathoms.
So where are we?
Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Well, I'm lost. I'm lost and alone and lost in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
We're
alone. Why did we get out of the car?
Speak for yourself.
Just try to stay calm. I think we might have gone the wrong way. Everyone, look for landmarks. What do you see?
Terrifyingly pointy mountain bits.
An absolute lack of features or people.
There's one of those old cow skulls just sitting there. You know it's bad when there's a cow skull lying around. Stop looking at me, Herbert!
America all looks the same to me, anyway.
Really?
Grass and rocks and shit?
There's a group of nude motorcyclists, Count. They look quite angry.
Oof, not to mention chafed.
Crap. They thawed out. Back in the car! Keep conclaving!
Crossover!
I'll take this bit. The tire seems to be in a contemplative mood as it rolls along before it spots some smoke in the distance. A approaching, it discovers a massive tire fire with junkyard workers tossing more and more tires onto the blaze. What a terrifying scene of rubbery genocide. The tire is not pleased.
You know, they really did a good job at like showing the tires like disbelief and then anger, just in the angles that they picked. It was just like,
as far as emotional acting performances by car tires, this is one of the best. It's like Olivier at his greatest.
I mean, I'd say it's better than most of the other acting in the movie.
Well, 3 days later, and chaos has descended on town. There is absolute silence, and the remains of head-splosions everywhere. It looks like the tire has taken out some serious frustrations on its creators. All humans must pay.
exterminate.
It was a very Bender sort of moment here. Kill all humans.
Yeah.
It's gonna rub them all out.
All right.
Didn't see that coming. I was taking a drink. Please continue.
The tire is taking a well-earned break from all that hard work exploding folks by watching TV. However, the long arm of the law is finally catching up. Unbeknownst to the tire, it has been spotted by a member of the sheriff's department who radios for help.
And what is the tire watching? Wait for it. Racing!
Racing.
NASCAR.
It was watching NASCAR.
The tire was watching
Real
NASCAR.
NASCAR. It's the entire equivalent of watching porn.
Yeah, I mean, that's like tire porn. They're just ripping those tires off, putting them back on.
No, that is absolutely tire pay-per-view porn.
You know, I just realized who the perfect person, if they remake this movie with the tire as an actor, would be Michael Ironside.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's the guy
I
from
see it.
Scanners, blows it up. He's got the Craigie Cratch features and stuff like that. And, his name kind of sounds tire-esque.
I don't know. I think Marcel Marceau would be good, Nice mime in there. A lot of mime work. Just keep it silent.
But deadly.
Well, anyway, this situation calls for a diabolically cunning plan, and the sheriff has one. By now, apparently, they've gotten wind that the tire is obsessed with our convertible girl. So, in a dastardly cunning move, they make up a mannequin to look vaguely like her and wire it up with dynamite. In a nearby van, the girl herself has been given a script to read, with her voice coming out of a speaker hanging around the mannequin's neck.
Very thick French accent out of that girl, too.
Yeah,
So,
she's very French.
very
Oh,
French.
I didn't understand why the girl was still there. So when she first gets to the hotel, she calls someone on the phone. I think she's her mom or something. She says, "Yeah, I'm just going to stay here for the night. I'm tired of driving." And when you see her, get out of the pool, she only has her one pair of shoes. She's still wearing her boots, She doesn't have a lot of luggage. She was just driving through. So why didn't she just keep going? Why is she there?
So it's my turn to explain this one. So specifically, the reason is because fuck you. That's why.
Yep.
Okay, that's what I thought. I mean, just was hoping for a little more, but...
I guess you found
Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. That's why.
There we go. Now it makes more sense. Thank you.
Yeah, you've really unpicked this tapestry, Columbo.
One more thing.
One more.
Come get me, she says boredly. I'm right here. The tire rolls out of the front door suspiciously and approaches. The bait is reeling in the rubbery fish. They get her to say vaguely sexy things through the speaker, and she quite rightly asks who wrote this crap. It sounds a lot like a porn script.
Sheriff Chad, that's who. Only someone with the name Sheriff Chad could write porn this bad.
Yeah, he really insists that she has to read it as written as well. He's a
Did you
pretty
mean
picky
that to
director.
rhyme, Daniel? Because that was rad.
I meant it to rhyme. I did not mean for you to then rhyme after it.
Oh, I didn't either. Huh. How about that?
You're each a
Well,
poet
past
and
is-
you didn't know it.
Let's leave it that way, thanks.
Well, past his prologue.
This is all patently ridiculous, and the last remaining audience member agrees. He has wheeled his way up to the van and knocks on the back door irritably. The whole bit makes no sense. He could go along with the rest of the plot, but this whole extended lure arrangement makes no sense at all. Why not just blow the tire away? But clearly, explains a very annoyed sheriff, by provoking the tire into blowing up the mannequin and setting off the dynamite, the tire will effectively bring about its own demise, which makes much more thematic sense.
Really?
It's symbolism. You have to think about the symbolism of it.
Do we, though?
And this is coming from the sheriff that wanted it all to be over days ago anyway, so it just really, really doesn't make sense.
No, he's decided to lean into it by this point.
They should
Well,
have
if it's
put the
gonna be a
dynamite
movie,
lower
it better
down.
be a fucking movie.
Well, eventually, even the tire gets tired of these tiring tirades and blows up the head of the mannequin, but without setting off the bomb. In sheer frustration, the sheriff takes matters into his own hands and strides into the house with a shotgun and ends matters with a 12-bore argument.
See, I told you. Just shoot it.
Well, that's the thing, and that's what the guy in the wheelchair was saying, too.
This is definitely French commentary on America.
Yeah. Or put the dynamite up higher, because they know the target of the...
Yeah, they should have put it in the head.
In the head, yeah.
Yeah, they've really not thought through the whole mannequin thing at all, but what can you do?
I mean, it's
All
clear
I
that
could think
they're,
of
at this
was-
point, they're completely out of script, so they're just, like, making shit up as they go along.
I feel like they were doing that from the beginning.
The whole explosive mannequin bit is hardly a model plan. The audience member is unhappy with this. It's hardly a good ending. But suddenly, a child's tricycle in the yard starts to move. The audience member is delighted. It's not over after all. The tire reincarnated. This is great. The show isn't over. Then the tricycle explodes him. And this is great. The show is over.
That is great. The show
After
is
he
over.
broke the fourth wall too. Again, he pleaded with the tire/tricycle. He's like, no, don't worry about me. I'm just a spectator. You don't have to worry about me. I'm not in this. And the tricycle does not give a fuck and blows him up anyway.
As everyone buggers off home after a violently boring and dramatically unproductive day, a lone tricycle wheels off down the road. It passes the girl in her car. Soon it is joined by others. Wheels, car tires, a massive tractor tire, all marching, rolling onwards towards Hollywood. They make their way towards the famous sign. Why now? Why there? Why tires? No reason.
It's commentary about everything in Hollywood being a tired retread.
Read this more like some horror films. He's like the evil spirit that's incarnated the tricycle now is like extending its influence to other inanimate objects to like recreate a whole army of like evil rubber
This is
rounds.
absolutely the ending of Child's Play Part 2.
No, you see, it's actually that tricycle which ends up getting work in The Shining.
It's a shared universe now.
Oh,
I liked
The
how the
Shining
girl
Extended
very,
Universe, the SCU.
I liked how the girl very wisely chose to just ignore the tricycle, let it go fuck off and do its own business, and she was just like, I'm just gonna keep driving and pretend that I didn't see that because I don't want any more of this bullshit.
And she turned out to be
Smartest
the
thing anyone
smartest
did in the
person
entire
whole thing. She's the cleverest person in this thing, and she takes showers with the door open.
Needs to know her, needs to know her door situation.
well, that's it. We are out of gas and out of options. Are those assholes still following us?
Yep.
And are they still,
So nude. It's kind of distracting. And not in a good way. Ugh, certain things shouldn't be flapping in the wind.
That's it. We're doomed. Like to say that it's been fun, but,
Oh, that's nice. But yeah, it's been terrible.
I'm never gonna get back to my bookshop.
I'll never be caught by the authorities for what I did.
Brimstone Road, take me home.
I can't die now. I'm so young and strong. Vibrant.
Oh, shut up, you wicker basket full of cat food. I'm thinking.
West Gehenna, Mountain Mama.
Stop.
well, no rush or anything, but they're going to be on us in about 10 Mississippis. I guess this is it. We die in the temperate, grassy prairie zone.
No. It's a desert. Everyone, follow me. reckon they's a mile down the road. We got 'em.
I've been froze. I've been sunburned. I got some roadkill all over my balls. I'm gonna kill these guys.
You don't take a guy's paints. You just don't. They may take our stuff. They may freeze us solid. They may make us take a nude ride through a god-dang desert. But, fuck those guys. Hell's whippoorwills charge. Hooty-hoo.
Hooty-hoo.
Hooty fucking hoo. That's right. Just like that. Make that a little bit higher. Yes, I think it'll work.
This better work.
Here, I found some scrub to make hair. I only had time to weave a couple of bouffants and a double Dutch waterfall braid.
Good enough. Stick that there. Yeah. Yes, done. What do you think?
Well, I guess from a distance, it looks like a group of guys standing by the road. Dang, though. Wanted to keep those cool jackets.
No time. They may be makeshift mannequins, but from a distance, it's good enough to fool a bunch of enraged meatheads. Quick, hide! Find a bush. There by the road. They's wearing our gear. Charge 'em down, boys.
What happened? We wiped out, man. They was fakes.
What happened?
Oh, shit. What is all that?
Careful, chumps! You'll notice that you've crashed into a thicket of saguaro cacti. Native to desert regions, not exactly fun to brush up against.
Especially when you're so nude.
You guys don't mind if we borrow your rides, right, guys?
Oh, you assholes. You're gonna pay. I think not, my friend. I spent all my money on electric motel massage machine. What does that even mean?
Saddle up, kids. It's time to ride.
As the leader of this cult, it is I who dramatically announces that we ride!
Well, get on with it. 'Cause we riding.
I thought we agreed no leader.
You're damned right. Now all of you shut up and do as I say and ride!
But where are we riding to?
Okay, now we ride!
I'm gonna say it. I don't want to be called goat cheese no more.
Not now, goat cheese.
I mean, what exactly is wrong with Kevin?
Not now, goat cheese. That episode of the Cinemania Society was written, produced, and performed by Andy Slack, Andrea Palladino, Daniel Scribner, Zachariah Burks, Hope Bravo, and Ethan Ireland. Sound design, mixing, mastering, and editing by Ethan Ireland. Music by Carl Casey at White Bat Audio. Sound effects and incidental music courtesy of Epidemic Sound. Visit our social media feeds on Facebook, Twitter, X at TCS_Cinemania, Instagram at The Cinemania Society, and Reddit at r/The Cinemania Society. If you like what you've heard, please visit us on Patreon and send us a donation because making podcasts is not free. Seriously though, we don't disrespect you by running commercials and we put a lot of effort into this show. We're worth at least the price of a cup of coffee, come on. The Cinemania Society is a product of the Cinemania Society, LLC.